Welcome to the channel. My name is Douglas, and in today's video, I'm sitting in front of the brand new Nord Organ 3, and I want to start off by playing you program A10, which is the B3T bass. Now check this one out. Great little program there, and it's utilizing one of these extra bass models that we have in comparison with, let's say, the Nord Stage 4, where we only had a few different bass models to choose from. So what this is the bass model giving us this synthy type of sound down here, which works great. Lovely stuff there. So what I want to do in this video is just walk you through the sections of the layout of the Nord Organ 3, talk to you about some of the features. I'm going to be doing more videos on this and comparisons with the Viscount Legend 1 because I have that right now. So this is not a sponsored video, though I do have a good relationship with Nord. They've allowed me to borrow the Nord Organ 3 for a little while to make some videos with, and I purchased the Viscount Legend 1. So I have that now, and I'm gonna be making some videos with these together just to show you the difference between the organ sounds and what we have here. So let's start over here on the left. We have our master level here. That's gonna be affecting what's going out of our left and right outs. We also have our settings for our B3 click and our vibrato chorus right over here on the left. Up top here, we have our organ model, our bass model. As you can tell, we have a different bass model, but we could switch. Between those different bass models there. Same up top here. And we have our rotary speaker amp simulation right here. Then we have our shift button, and in the center here, we have our program functions. So we have the store button for saving programs. We have our page up, page down, our bank change buttons here as well. By holding shift, we can perform the function that's labeled under the button. For example, jumping banks instead of just jumping pages. Then we have our 3 live mode buttons and our program button. So we can switch between the live modes. I'll talk more about those in a separate video. And then we have our transpose right here. We have a few different effects. So we have modulation, equalizer, delay, reverb, and then down here we have our percussion settings for this program here. It's off, but as we scroll through, you'll notice these settings change instantly to reflect what's saved to that program. Now, over here we have kind of the meat of the organ. That's our upper manual A and B and our lower manual A and B. We can switch between these easily with these drawbar A and drawbar B buttons down here. And that switches between our 2 uppers. So we can have 2 different settings in our upper. So let me just go down to like the B3 Jazz. And on our upper manual, we can have 2 different settings here. On our lower, now you'll notice me down here with the rotary speed switching between my slow, fast, and then we have our stop as well. So let me just run you through a little bit here. I'm gonna take my upper manual and my lower manual all the way back on this B3 Jazz. So my model is B3, my bass model is B3. I don't have a bass pedal plugged in here, but we could adjust the drawbars for that bass pedal here. Typically, it's your 16 and your 8 foot on that pedal. We also have some preset buttons for each of our key beds here. 61 key, nice, beautiful organ waterfall key action there. Now, what we've got here is no sound except for the percussion because we have all of our drawbars back. Now what these drawbars are representing the actual foot lengths of an organ. So we've got the 16 foot all the way to the 1 foot pipe lengths, and each of these provide a different tone. So the first black one and then the white are all octave variations of the root note we're playing. So if I play a C, and then I've got my thirds and my fifths mixed in here. Really full. If I take percussion off, really full organ sound. So as we start to bring these forward, we can change the characteristic of that B3 sound. Maybe we'll go for a typical jazz setup here. Percussion, maybe we turn that on. Take soft volume, we'll put the harmonic third on. Take that harmonic third off. Really cool stuff. So as we do this, let me turn the percussion off and just give you one of my favorite settings here. I'll do a little scoop here. So let's talk about the rotary speed. You'll notice this kind of spinning up, spinning down sound here. So let me just play a couple of notes here. Right now it's on slow, so we've got a little bit of slow movement. I'm going to jump over to the B3 Smith. Notice how you've got a bit of that spinning effect. So a traditional Leslie speaker is going to have two speakers that both spin. One is larger, one is smaller, and they spin at different speeds. They also have different ramp up and ramp down times when you're switching between slow and fast. Now in some jazz setups, you'll notice that there's the stop and fast. So in stop mode, oftentimes there'll be a C3 chorus on there, which gives a little bit of warble. And then sometimes on a Leslie speaker, if you unplug the slow speaker, you can just have the stop. And then you can do the fast. Or you can switch between the slow, where you've got a little bit of that speaker just moving at a very slow RPM. And then if I hold this and go to fast, back to slow, you can hear almost two different speeds on the two speakers involved with this Leslie simulation. I love this B3 Smith. Really cool. Fun to noodle around. And I'll be honest, when I'm playing organ, oftentimes I'm playing with a band. And so I'm not just soloing out here like I am in these videos. I'm going to be doing some videos with my MPC Key 37, slapping that up here, throwing a beat together, and then we can really do some fun fun little organ riffs and things like that over an actual bass and drum beat, because that's typically what you're playing with when you're playing organ. So with these drawbar setups, notice we have the LEDs on our manual B and our manual A. These are kind of the defaults for the presets, and then we can have those A and B second drawbar setups there if we want to switch between those. I like to play my bass notes down on the lower keyboard, which gives me kind of pinky control over the rotary speed. So really nice sound here. I'm just blown away by how beautiful this is. I'm just sitting here jamming when I'm not making videos. So down here again, 61 key, 2 beautiful waterfall style key beds. And then we have presets here. So not only do we have our A and our B setups here, which are going to be the live drawbars, but we have presets within here that we can set up so that we have lots of different choices to switch between when we're playing our organs. Input output wise, we've got an external rotary speaker plug, an 11-pin traditional out. We have our monitor in, typical to what Nord usually provides. We have headphones. We have that nice headphone jack on the front. We have left and right out, aux out. We have our bass pedal. If you have one of the Nord 25 or 27 pedal, bass pedals, you can plug that in there. MIDI in out, sustain pedal, swell, USB, and rotary control for that half moon switch. There are mounting holes here for that half moon switch, so that works really well. You've probably seen that in the NAMM videos that I showed and in other videos out there floating on the internet. So we even have some programs in here. We can switch between these really quickly here. We've got some that are utilizing some of the effects here. Utilizing some of those delays and reverbs if you want to get a little bit clever with your sound there. So that's a quick run through of what we have on the panel. I'm going to be doing additional videos where I go in depth more on some of these features that we have here on the keyboard. And I'll be posting more demos of some of the programs that come from the factory. I'm going to play a couple more just to play out this video, but if you have questions around the Nord Organ 3, feel free to throw those down in the comments below. I'll do my best to answer them. Thanks for watching. Stay inspired and keep making that music.